bit about your mother.
Well, I've actually, through our conversations with Debbie, I'm like thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like you and my mom are like twins. Like you do the same thing because we would have our beach trips. We would have, our fun times. We would have, we were raised Christian too and everything, so we'd go to church. We'd follow all the holidays, and my mom would always make it extra special. And my mom made mistakes too. I mean, gosh, I'm still holding this over her head. One year she grounded me for the summer. I was not very happy about that. Oh shoot! Don't tell my mom I said that. But I'd say that about my mom, we all have that fun inside of us, so that way nothing we do is ever dull. So I would say my mom is super awesome because of it.
How about you, Michelle? Tell us a little bit about your wonderful mom.
So my mom is an amazing woman. When I look forward to my future motherhood, I only hope to be half of what she was. Like, my mom is the oldest of 7, and she married my dad when she was in her late 20s. So she got married rather later. And my mom always calls me her miracle baby because they tried for 7 years before I was born. And I think because I'm an only child, I guess I should say that, because I'm an only child, I feel like my mom and I have this really special bond. When I was a kid, I remember crawling into bed with her. My dad had already left and gone to work, but we would lay in bed for probably like 2 hours playing games, just playing I Spy and talking. And my mom has always been that type of rock for me. Like, we could hang out and just chill and do nothing, or we could actually talk to each other about things. I'm really grateful that over the course of me growing up, my mom has seriously become my best friend. Like, I call her and I text her all the time. When I have news, she's the second person I want to share it with, the first being my husband. But I couldn't have asked for a better mom and a better friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you.
Aw. A little bit about my mom. My mother is a very strong-willed woman. She has gone through a lot with me. She was a single mother, and she went to college while I was growing up, and she went to nursing school, and she's very career-focused, and she's managed to make so much progress in her professional career while raising me that I find that it's amazing. And through all of the things that we went through in our personal life, I really thank God for my mom and thank goodness for all the experiences that we've had together. And yeah, my mother is an amazing person, and she taught me that I could do anything as long as I was willing to work hard. And I think that her creativity and her drive and her spirit is what pushes me to really get out there and put myself out in front of the world and say, here I am. I'm trying to make a difference, and I'm trying to make a change, and I'm trying to get other people on board with me. So that's my mommy. Love you, Mommy.
You and I are adopting, and lots of people think when a parent places their child for adoption, it's because they don't love them, right? You're willing to let someone else raise your child, but in reality, that is the ultimate sign of love, to be able to give something up and say, you know what, I love you so much, I want better for you, whether that means I want to place you for adoption, or whether that means that I'm going to work for like a decade to get my life in order so that you can have the life you deserve. Like, ultimate love.
Yeah.
Okay, I love you, Taryn.
Today is just make Taryn cry day.
You know, everything's making me cry. I'm trying to like have like robot face right here, so I'm like, I love you, Mom. You're amazing and awesome. So I don't cry.
That's my mom's fake cry. Or my mom, actually, that's her real cry. We'll watch movies to start doing that. And we all mimic it and make fun of it, even though we know it's real, but it's all fun.
All right. So, to everybody on the panel today, do you choose to be a parent? How about you, Frank? You go first. Tell us what you think.
Well, do you choose to be a parent? I mean, for me, I'm gay. I have to choose. And I think, in a way, I can benefit from that because I'll know when I'm ready. But if I can ask Debbie, did you ever feel ready? Or did you think that... That's something that's always crossed my mind. Am I ever going to be really ready for it?
No, I think it's like falling in love. I think it's one of those things where you're just like, is it ever really a good time? You know, is this big relationship really a good time? You're never ready. But it feels right sometimes.
Yeah.
Debbie is completely right on that front because, well, I could wait, right, for motherhood to be a more convenient time for my husband and I. I could wait until he's done with school, or I could wait until we live somewhere nicer. But, like, there's always going to be a reason for us to wait. And wait, and wait. So, let's just do it now.
Well, for me, I don't know. For me in motherhood, it was a thing that I originally didn't want for myself. And then I was claimed to be PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it's the leading cause of infertility in America. And that kind of made me rethink whether I wanted to be a mother now that the option was kind of taken away from me. So I find with me, I think at this point we've chosen not to, but for a while it was wavering back and forth because I knew what I would have to go through to have children and the cost it would have on me because, and the cost it would have, be for David. Being that I would have to go through like all kinds of treatments, and my aunt who had this condition, she's unfortunately passed now, but she had many miscarriages before she had her child, and I didn't want that same experience for me. I'm a really sensitive person, so I didn't know if I could, really deal with that. And what me and David always say is that, we want to make the world better for babies, not just our baby. So what we're going to do is pour our energy into projects that will hopefully make the world a little bit better and safer and friendlier place for babies in the future. We're going to ask you a question right now. Tell us a little bit about how changes in society for you might have changed motherhood.
Well, in my own experience, of course, I went through a divorce, so I had kind of two mothering experiences. One, when the children were little, I was a stay-at-home mom. Loved it, had a blast, enjoyed that very much. It was very sweet of Mr. Beitler to let me do that. And then I had the experience of being a single mom and that was very, very difficult. I worked one full-time job and 2 part-time jobs, and I sometimes skipped meals to make sure that they could eat because things were so very tight, and I still tried to make an effort to kind of homeschool them on top of public school because I didn't feel they were getting all the education that they really needed. So it just took a tremendous amount of effort and time and energy, and I couldn't do it now for anything, but it was a big impact on my life in that sense, that societal change of going from being a married couple to being a single mom made a big difference in my life.
Yeah. You know, coming from a single parent home, I was lucky that I had a huge family, because where, you know, my mother would usually be by herself, like, there was this great support she got from our extended family. So I feel like I sort of have like 4 or 5 different moms, and all of my great aunts are like my moms, and and so it's been a fantastic experience. But I can spend time with my mom, I can spend time with my aunts to give my mom a break, and like the joy of having an extended family and being raised in that way is phenomenal. How about you guys? What do you think about some of the changes that have happened that have changed motherhood?
I'm sorry, but we are on the internet. We have access to so much information now. I mean, I had a problem with my dog the other day, and I just typed in, what's going on with my dog? And sure enough, it gave me a lot of answers and solutions from different articles that I could read. It's just the access to information, aka information age. I think that it's not necessarily easier to be a parent, but there's a lot of easier ways to find out information about being a parent. But I think when it comes down to it, it's just, again, I'm not speaking from experience. I don't have my own kids, but it seems like a lot of times you just have to wing it. We are all our own individual thumbprint. And so is going to be the experience of raising kids, in my opinion. So the information's there if you need it. If not, wing it.
So, Debbie, on a final thought of tonight, what message would you give to us, a new generation of people having children? What advice would you give to us?
Well, first of all, I'm certainly no expert, but I guess one of the things I think about with families raising children nowadays is I hope that they will draw their children away from virtual reality sometimes and into reality. Take them away from the computer, away from the video games, take them outside, sit in the grass, pull apart the blades, look for little creatures, lay back in the grass, look up, look for cloud shapes, go catch fireflies with mayonnaise jars, just like they did in the old days, you know, and then let them go and look at the stars, and don't give your kids everything. I think that that's true in every generation. I think it's really great if you can raise kids to earn their own money. And, oh my gosh, don't necessarily pay for their car insurance. Let them earn the money. It gives them a sense of responsibility and achievement that I think sometimes parents who want to give their kids everything to make up for what they didn't have, I think kids miss out if you do that. So just enjoy them. More than anything, enjoy them. My kids are my best friends. I just love them. They are such interesting people. And they were fun and interesting all through their growing up years, even when they got on my nerves. I love them. And they're just still, they get on my nerves, and I still love them. So I would just say, enjoy your kids.
Debbie, thank you so much for being our guest today, our guest mom. Thank you for your advice there, too. So basically, it's like, don't give your kids affluenza. Don't do it.
Love it.
So that's it for us today. Frankie, tell them what they should do.
Well, you should like, subscribe, and please share, because your mama told you so.
Amen. All right, so Thank you guys for watching The Y Project, formerly Aspect Ratio X. We love our new name. And we'll see you next Friday, y'all. Everybody, see you next time.
Next.
One really neat memory I had that was a big surprise was when the children got old enough to be thinking about me instead of just themselves. And there was this one Mother's Day that they had worked really hard to save all their money together, and they blindfolded me. Of course, they were older. My daughter was driving at this point. She had just recently gotten her license and was able to drive on her own. And they blindfolded me, and they took me with their money, and they wouldn't tell you where we were going, and we drove forever, it seemed like. And they had pulled their money together to take me to Carowinds for a Mother's Day, as a matter of fact. And that was just an amazing moment to realize when your kids are independent enough to be thinking that much about